Okay, so we're going to our old friend Joanna Rowling. Joanna, do you have something to say? Joanne Rowling. Joanne Rowling is a writer from back in the day. Old Joanna Rowling is upset about some trans boxers apparently being added to the Olympics. Now, these are apparently the two individuals. Joanna Rowling says, "What will it take to end this insanity?" Hold on, let me do it. I can't do this standard. What will it take to end this insanity? A female boxer left with life-altering injuries. A female boxer killed. What's going on here? Oh, okay, hold on. Anyway. Tyler channeling Ninja from Deontvert. Yeah. So some boxers are joining the fucking Olympics, right? And these Olympic level boxers are trans women. Okay? And people who are not them are concerned that they're going to have a gigantic edge against women in the competition. Apropos of no evidence provided other than that they used to be males. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at this story because I remember looking at it a little bit. But our most concerned individual is J.K. Rowling. Now, first off, punching someone hard enough to kill them is like that. There's a weight floor for that. Let me just put it this way: you either have to be so fucking astronomically strong, because women, like the whole like men and women's bones or density, that shit is not like, those are differences that seem large under microscopes, but like women's skulls and like neck bones and shit are not that goddamn frail. Okay, they're made out of calcium, which is a heavy-ass, strong fucking substance. And young people that are actually boxing will actually have stronger bones than your average individual, because every time you fucking get your bones fucked up, they get stronger. Which is why if your muscles got strong enough for you to lift like 2 tons, your bones would explode if you've never lifted that before, but like super heavy pro weightlifters can do it because their bones get damaged and they get stronger. Also, punching someone hard enough to kill them is one of the hardest things to do, because your body is literally designed to not die when it's hit. I know that sounds crazy. And you wear like gloves and shit. Dying in a fucking boxing ring is usually the result of insane, in not like, oh, don't you think it's insane to let men fight women? Not that kind of insane. I mean like somebody with literal fucking undiagnosed aneurysm got in and got fucking rabbit punched by a certain level boxer. Also, killing people with your bare hands has a minimum weight limit. And I think I think most of the people that have died from non-freak accidents, like they had like a heart attack or a murmur or something because their shit wasn't good, I would need extra information on this, is because they were in a heavyweight fight. I can punch harder than almost anybody that's smaller than me. And I know that seems like unfair, but the size advantage is crazy after a certain weight, especially because your weight is part of the mathematics that leads to the ultimate pressure from the punch, right? So if you don't even weigh enough, height is what it is, but if you don't even weigh enough, you just can't hit that hard. And if you do weigh enough, you can. And so you have to hit a minimum threshold to be able to damage the human body even enough. And women don't tend to get that big. And wrestling and boxing is divided by weight classes. So like you can't put even a trans woman that would have been a heavyweight in a lightweight or a featherweight or a welterweight class. They'd have to lose weight. One of the ways that trans women lose the most amount of weight is their bone density plummets, because they're like hormonally women now. and they lose all of their fucking juice. Have you ever noticed that guys are bigger than girls? Well, when you fill guys with girl juice, it makes them into girls. That's the whole point of it. But they won't have a baby. Okay, man. If you want to get specific, sure. But we're talking about like getting an edge in a fight. The last thing anyone wants to do is take fucking estrogen to win a fight. Unless the fucking fight you're trying to win is over some fucking CPAC attendees like resistance to getting the gawk. Like, you don't want to be taking estrogen to win fights, except for as a supplement to testosterone doping to keep yourself from fucking growing tits. Hitting hard doesn't even matter in Olympic boxing. You just need to land hits and then you get points. Also, true. I think the guy who died in the ring that kicked off modern boxing rules was just punched so many times in the head he got herniated blood vessel in his head and died. Also true. Old boxing, when people actually used to die in the ring, was because there weren't 12 rounds. There were just rounds. As in, you would go in there for 3 minutes at a time and then go back to the corner until one of you stopped moving or gave up. That's how boxing worked back in the day. Now you have rounds, you have refs, you have people that are double checking it out and stuff. So this is the thing that Joanna shared. Mind you, Joanna doesn't give a fuck about boxing. I would be stunned to find out that she cares anything about boxing. That doesn't mean that you can't have an opinion on boxing, but like you probably don't have the information to make a judgment on boxing. So we go into this. Boxers who failed gender tests at world championships cleared to compete at Olympics. Duo from Algeria and Chinese Taipei to box this week. Algerian Imane Khelif accused critics of big conspiracy. So these are the individuals. This is just what female boxers look like. Female boxers are not a bunch of like dead or alive beach volleyball girls. They look like people that punch each other in the face for sport. Okay, just understand that that's what they do. Olympic boxing is also not heavyweight prize fighting. If you're thinking of like Mike Tyson style 2-second hard knockout rounds, that's not how it is. So Olympic boxing is more like this, right? If you all probably seen fucking knockout compilations from like Mike Tyson and shit, Olympic boxing is more. You can tell the fighters are more sleek. They're going to be smaller. They're not going to be fucking all jazzed up and fucking done up in Tyson Fury type shit. It doesn't mean that they don't have like the same level of talent or anything, but Olympic boxing is just slightly different than professional boxing. And if you don't know really what you're looking at, it's still boxing, obviously. But, oh man, that was some bullshit. It's going to be very, very fucking rules focused and stuff. Also, these guys are, I think, even bigger than the trans women that we are seeing. Let me just even look up their, their stats. Imane Khelif. Weight class light welterweight. So on the heavier side for females, but not by much. Age 25. Total fights, 14 fights, 9 wins, 5 losses. Okay. 2022, they got gold in the Mediterranean Games, gold in the African Championships, and silver in the 2022 Istanbul light welterweight. Light welterweight is, because I can never remember these specifically, I think it's like 150 to 160. No, it's even smaller. I'm crazy. Light welterweight is contested between the lightweight and welterweight, in which boxers weigh above 61.2 kilograms or 135 pounds and up to 63.5 kg or 140 pounds. These are fucking small people. You know what I mean? Tiny. They're tiny. That doesn't mean like this fucking individual wouldn't beat my fucking ass, right? But like, they just don't have the juice. Mike Tyson's fighting weight was like 230, and a lot of the ultra heavyweight fighters are 230 plus. They're huge. And all of that goes to more power. You know what I mean? Like, Ngannou isn't even like the strongest fucking puncher ever, but Francis Ngannou will punch your fucking head through the back of your head. Do you know what I mean? And a guy like that, sure. But that's what people try to pretend is going into the ring. But there's just these scrawny little fucks. You know what I mean? And it's about technique and stuff. And they're on fucking estrogen, which is like a deficit against them. So let's see. Khelif will meet. She. Khelif will meet in the Italian Angela Carini in the 66 kilogram category, and Lynn is expected to face an unnamed opponent in the 57 kg on Friday. So like even fucking smaller. That they're fighting at like 110 to 120 some odd pounds. Okay. The IOC's decision will be controversial, with the former world champion Barry McQueen expressing his unease. In a post on X, he wrote, "It's shocking that they were actually allowed to get this far. What is going on? The situation has arisen because the World Championships last year was run under the auspices of the International Boxing Association, whose president, Umar Kremlev, told the Russian news agency TASS that DNA tests had proven they had XY chromosomes and thus were excluded from the sports events." This is by Sean Engel in Paris, by the way, from The Guardian. Its internal system, which is provided to journalists, however, the IOC, the PBU, International Olympic Commission is what the IOC is. Since then, however, the IBA has been banned. So the people that are like, hey, you shouldn't let these women fight, these trans women fight, has been banned from running the Olympic boxing tournament in Paris because of long-running questions surrounding governance issues and a series of judging scandals. So the people that you're referencing as being like, okay, well, they said they shouldn't fight, are like, can't be trusted to fucking judge. That means the boxing in Paris is now being run under the auspices of the IOC's Paris 2024 boxing unit, which has more relaxed rules than the IBA. Which is crazy because the other people were breaking the rules. In a statement, the IOC said the PBU used the Tokyo 2022 boxing rules, or 2020 boxing rules, enforced at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020, and the related qualifying tournaments as a baseline to develop its regulations. Those rules descended from the Rio 2016 rules. The PBU endeavored to restrict amendments to minimize the impact on athletes' preparation and guaranteeing consistency between Olympic Games. However, the IOC's own MyInfo website acknowledges that both boxers failed gender eligibility tests last year, but under a testing system that's not used. In its internal system, which provided to journalists in Paris, the IOC states that Khelif was disqualified just hours before her gold medal showdown against Yang Liu at the 2023 World Championships in New Delhi, India, after her elevated levels of testosterone failed to meet the eligibility criteria. The IOC also acknowledges that Lin was stripped of her bronze medal after failing to meet eligibility requirements based on the results of a biochemical test. Lin does not appear to have spoken about the situation. However, the agency France Presse reported that Khelif claimed to be the victim of a big conspiracy after being disqualified just before the final at last year's World Championships. People have conspired against Algeria. God, Algeria! So that its flag doesn't get raised and it doesn't win the gold medal, the 25-year-old said. Rules regarding who should compete in the female category have been hotly contested in recent years, but there has been less debate about combat sports where the risk of serious injury and death is far higher. Scientific research has also found that the average punching power is 162% greater in those who have gone through male puberty compared to females. This, I read, this is a lie. This is actually like hilariously incorrect because they rephrased those who have gone to male puberty. What this test we're going to see is it actually is on just men. So, like, it would be like me, but without a fat dose of fucking girl juice to fucking strip me of all my fucking wondrous meat. So you skip over to this thing that they quoted, if you don't look at it. Why males pack a powerful punch. Upper arm strength, different from females, may have been specialized for forceful blows. Elk have antlers. Rams have horns. In the animal kingdom, males develop specialized weapons. Blah, blah, blah. Humans do too. University of Utah. Males' upper bodies are built for more powerful punches than females, says the study published in the Journal of Experimental Biology. I don't know if that journal's any good. Suggesting that fighting may have been long part of our evolutionary history. So here's the evidence. It's already known that males' upper bodies on average have 75% more muscle mass and 90% more strength than females, but it's not known why. The general approach to understanding... Oh, Kusabake, thank you! I'm like 10 minutes behind and it's completely unrelated, but did J.K. Rowling just say Chinese Taipei? No, that's... All of the IOC reporting calls Taiwan Chinese Taipei as a, like, tip of the hat, because otherwise China said, like, they won't participate in the Olympic Games or whatever if you call Taiwan Taiwan. And Chinese Taipei was just, or Taiwan was just like, ugh. So cranking through a punch. Okay, so here's some of the weird parts about this. To test their hypothesis, the researchers had to measure punching strength, but carefully. If participants directly punched a bag or other surface, they risked hand injury. Instead, the researchers rigged up a hand crank that would mimic the motions of a punch. They also measured participants' strength in pulling a line forward over their head, akin to the motion of throwing a spear. This tested an alternative hypothesis that males' upper body strength may have developed for the purposes of throwing or spear hunting. 20 men and 19 women participated. It's a very low amount of individuals. So, like, we're under 40 total participants in this study. We had them fill out an activity questionnaire, and they had to score in the active range, so we weren't getting couch potatoes. We were getting people that were very fit and active, who are biological specimens of AFAB and AMAB individuals who are just, they're not trans, so you're not measuring trans strength. You're just not so, like, yeah, a guy who has never taken estrogen, who's just raw, like, can beat up a lady, like, congratulations, you know what I mean? But also, it's going to go even further in the wrong direction, because you're testing for men who are working out. If you work out as a guy, your body will produce more testosterone, especially if you're younger. And to keep up with the muscle building, which is why men build muscle way fucking faster than women. You will get more testosterone in your body from exercise. So not only are you not controlling in this experiment for the variable that you would need to justify the statement from the other source, you're measuring something that is going to be actually counterintuitive to what you're trying to prove, which is that trans women punch 165% harder than men. Also, this is just a bad testing for punching. I would need to prove anything about trans people fighting in the Olympics. I would need to see trans people punching bags. I would need to see them hitting hit meters, which exist. There's ways to test your punch power. They've always existed. They're around. Moving a pulley is a terrible way to test your punch strength, because that's not what happens when you punch. You don't grab something and then move a string. You flick, you know what I mean? You've got to flick out and hit something, and it's a whole movement that you practice incessantly. A trans woman who has never thrown a punch but worked out incessantly, and a trans woman who has not worked out aside from punching, if you put them together, the trans woman who's only practiced punching as her exercise is going to hit insanely fucking hard compared to the person that's never practiced a punch. It's just, like, known. That's just a known thing. Like, that's why, like, fighters are like, don't try to fight somebody that doesn't know how to fight. Or if you don't know how to fight, don't try to fight somebody that does, because you're just going to put yourself in such a bad position because you just don't even know how to punch. Like, if you're trying to prove that trans women are more dangerous in these sports, you can't use a test that said we didn't want anyone to hit a bag and hurt their hand. You know who's not going to hurt their hand punching a bag? Any of the trans women or fucking AFAB women who are in the Olympics. None of them, not one of them, are going to hurt their hand punching a bag. I know, because they made it to the fucking Olympics. It's what they were doing the whole time before they got on the plane, was punching fucking bags again and again and again. Like, this is a test that's completely designed to find out something unrelated whatsoever with the point that the Guardian's trying to make. It's, like, actually hilarious and embarrassing. Like, I don't know why you brought it up. I punched a brick wall without breaking my hand, so I don't know what they're on with that. I mean, it's kind of like all over the place. I won't even get into it. So we weren't getting couch potatoes. But even with roughly uniform levels of fitness, the male's average power during a punching motion was 162% greater than females, with the least powerful man still stronger than the most powerful woman. Such a distinction between genders, Carrier says, develops with time and with purpose. This is also just a bad test in general, because what is the size difference? Like, who are these individuals? Like, this is the crazy part, because what is their activity? Like, this is the most dog shit test I've ever heard relative to like physical capability. It's not even just like I'm trying to dog it because I'm like so pro-trans or anything like that. It's just a bad test, because if I take you to a gym right now and you're a guy that jogs a lot and you're really good at jogging, and I put you in a fucking squats contest against some fucking chick that only does power squats, she might fucking run your shit. You know what I mean? But also, if I put 16 guys that all they do at the gym is just like a good amount of mountain climbers. Okay, how about this? 16, 19 guys, whatever, that are mountain climbers against 19 women that are power lifters. Okay? Even if the power lifters aren't like way, way stronger than the men, the gap between them is going to be completely poisoned when you try to compare it against any other version of people. Like, you have to control for way more variables. If you try to, if you have a guy that just jogs and he's been like a cross country runner, he's got really strong legs, he can run for like 15, 25 miles, but you put him in a squat contest against a woman who doesn't run like that, but she knows how to do squats correctly and has good form, she might do way fucking more squats than him. A guy that does squats and runs, if you just get rid of that, it's going to be completely different. So like the test just doesn't equate. You know what I mean? Those variables are crazy, and you'll end up with the wrong information. So I don't even know what the fuck they thought that they were gathering from this test. Was it just that like if you picked any 19 guys and 20 girls off the street, the guys would be stronger? Like, that's an observable fact. Testosterone just makes men generally larger than women, but when we're trying to talk about competing at the highest level of sports, and there's additional variables like all of the testosterone being fucking wiped out of your goddamn body by heavy juicing on fucking on girl juice, it doesn't prove anything. Like, if you gave me good evidence and it proved it, you know, I wouldn't be able to argue against it. But like, it's so easy to argue against this because it's just terrible. It's not like exhaustive. And it doesn't prove even the point that you're trying to make, because it doesn't have anything to do with trans women. So what are you talking about with trans women? These guys didn't just go through male puberty. They went through malehood, like manhood. When I went through puberty in my teens, I was like fucking half the size I am now. Like, I got to 6'4" pretty quick, but I'm 280 now. Me as a man that has been working out with testosterone in my system relentlessly and never taken a single hit of fucking estrogen, I'm fucking huge. So even your standpoint doesn't make sense of like, oh, people that have gone through male puberty. Other guys I know that were probably my size that went through puberty and didn't work out or do anything, they're fat shits. Probably get their ass fucking kicked by any fucking welterweight boxer on earth. Not even the pros, just somebody that's not even golden gloves. They're lead gloves. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible non-scientific, nonsensical study. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it has to just be bigotry. Breaking a legacy of violence. What is Science Daily? Is this just a joke? It's an uncomfortable thought to consider that men may be designed for fighting. That doesn't mean, however, that men today are destined to live their ancestors' violent lives. This feels so British. Human nature is also characterized by avoiding violence and finding ways to be cooperative and work together, to have empathy, to care for each other, right? Carrier says. There are two sides to who we are as a species. If our goal is to minimize all forms of violence in the future, then understanding our tendencies and what our nature really is going to help. This is about, oh no, they're actually from Utah. I'm so sorry. This is just a terrible study. Was this like for someone's like little kid thing? I mean, like, if you get, I'm not juicing the figures, you know, I'm not massaging whatever the fuck is going, it's just literally bad. I don't know what else to say. Both countries' Olympic committees have been approached for comment. Like, so this is just ignorable completely. Somebody else had a video, is it on here, where they were like, watch them battering each other in the ring. That was the last point I was going to make, but if I can't find it, I can't find it. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, 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 no! Let's see if one of these links had it. Imane Khelif and Lin Yuzhang pretending to be women. I mean, I need actual proof. If it's just that, like, they're not hot, you know, they're not, like, hot chicks, like, they should be, like, blue-eyed and throw on some fucking eyeliner and shit so that we can, like, know that they're, like, really female. Trans women are going to have to start drawing the 3-dot eyelashes to make themselves permanent women, like an old cartoon, so that we know that they're girls now. One of the things that was getting shared with us, I couldn't find it, was them showing a fucking boxing match. It might be in this stupid fucking J.K. Rowling thing. Hold on, I'll just look for it. I don't want to scroll through this shit. But it was like, look at them battering each other. Do you want to see a male fighter battering someone in a ring? And it's just like, bro. Oh, here. This is it. This is it. This is actually it. Okay, I did find it. This is in boxing of all sports. This is a video of one of these male boxers beating up on a woman from a previous event. This is not sport. This is sanctioned abuse. I better see a murder. I better see a fucking murder right now.
A la mexicana, Imane Khelif, que se está llevando la contienda ahora en las repeticiones, golpe de impacto.
Okay, so what you see here is she dropped her fucking hand. What is going on? Look. Getting cornered. Pop, 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 pop.
En las repeticiones, golpe de impacto. Sí, sí, sí. Se vio claramente.
That's not even really, like, battered. Like, you got hit with a soft ass flurry with headgear on. Like, this is boxing. It's what it looks like. You know what I mean? Like, you have to agree to the match too, I'm pretty sure. Like, did this chick go in not thinking she could fucking win?
Hasta 5 golpes alcanzó a conectar, manejándose con el jab y otra vez en la combinación ahí.
She's flailing.
Le van a aplicar otra cuenta de protección. Cuidado, porque si llega a una tercera ocasión es susceptible de que le detengan el pleito.
La velocidad de puños de Khelif no pudo contrarrestar lo rápido que desenfundaba tanto la izquierda como la derecha, y en la parte de este tercer episodio se estuvo poniendo en reiteradas ocasiones el jab y el recto.
Y bueno, pues aquí repasamos estos momentos.
I mean, this person's pressing their advantage. She's got her hands down.
Champions of this tournament. Blue corner de Algeria.
They're still friends. I mean, I'm not gonna like rock Mexico. Mexico would fucking probably get me, but she doesn't seem like that confident of a boxer. The biggest advantage here isn't even strength, because that's not coming into this fucking fight at all. The biggest advantage here is just this person's way too fucking tall. Maybe if the most I could give you is that if trans women are taller than fucking the other fighters, then maybe you have to fucking sub-derivate class by like height too, if that's actually an issue though. But this also, you know, sometimes fucking bitches are just tall. So, you know, I would have to see like actual evidence. Like somebody winning a fight is not evidence of cheating. It just isn't, you know? Like I've got to see what actually gave them the material like boost. Because even like reach is only so much. Like you get in under people's reach. Like being tall doesn't mean that you get to win the fight immediately. It can be a serious advantage, and if you're fighting Mike Tyson, it can be a fucking like a bit of self-deception, because you just go, well, you get in there for pump, and then fucking you're sleeping, your tall ass on the ground while fucking Mike Tyson's walking around. I told him that we're gonna fuck him up, and then he, you know, maybe it's gonna get into that later, but I really appreciate the fight, and I appreciate the money that I'm gonna get to it, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna kill Evander Holyfield in September. Pudding.
mexicana, Imane Khelif, que
Not liking tall women is already a mark against you for me personally. I like tall women. Just women are never as tall as me. She is just tall. But like tall doesn't make you drop your hands. You know what I mean? Like her hands are down. Get your hands, move. That's all I can tell you. When you fight a better boxer, if they outposition you, you're gonna get hit. That's the point of boxing, is you get fucking hit. But also, if you keep your fucking arms and shit in the way, you don't get hit as much. She's just got her literally. This is on the ropes. You're just seeing somebody on the ropes. Boom. I don't know what that fucking move was. Like, what is this? What is this half jab? She like trying to get some distance, but this person's pressing their advantage. They've got you on the ropes. Your feet are fucked. I can tell you right now. These feet are way too close together. You're stuck. She pushed you into the ref too. Fucking nice. So you can't just like jump into the ref. She's got you stuck here. She's gonna come. She's gonna definitely be hitting you with her right hand. She's keeping you up with her left. So she's gonna try to box you in here. And so you are gonna get stuck by him trying to get out of the way of this hand. And then all she does is put up this left jab basically to try to keep her away. But she has more reach. So ploop, 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 and she gets her with a flurry right over the top of her arm. Bam, bam, bam. And he pulls it. If the ref thought that this fighter could not fight, the ref pulls the fight instantly. Like a boxing ref is not gonna fucking ref a fight that's like a clown show either. You know what I mean? If the ref got in there and said like, okay, this person's getting their fucking ass kicked, they can't hang at all. This person's getting fucking tossed. That's throwing in the towel. The ref will call the fight. If I got into a boxing match with a woman the size of like my wife, she's 5'4", and I fucking started beating the shit out of her and she couldn't defend herself, the ref would go stop and stop the fight. The ref, the professional boxing observer who decides whether or not the match is fair, said, okay, separate. I'm not going to let that continue on because it's Olympics, by the way. This is an Olympic fight. Go ahead, separate. That flurry's over. If it was a fucking prize fight, that would have continued until she's in the fucking dirt because prize fight. Separate. We're going to restart. You know what I mean? And then we're going to keep going. If he thought that she couldn't defend herself anymore, that's his job to choose. Like, you can't defend yourself, I'm going to take you out. Keep your hands up. All right, I'm going to go clean fight. You're going to keep your hands up. You're going to keep your eyes on your opponent at all times. You are not going to turn your back on your opponent. You're going to keep fighting until the fight's over. There's going to be a bell after 3 minutes. Do you understand my instructions? Yes. If I say the fight is over, the fight called, you're going to listen to my instructions. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. Get ready. Fight. You know, like that's like standard shit you hear at the beginning of all the boxing matches. Actual boxers are right now. They're like, oh, actually, what he would be saying is this. But like that, this isn't a big deal. This chick, stop treating this lady like a fucking pussy, bro. She's in there in a fucking Olympic level fight, scrapping, like, and people are just treating her like a fucking child. Like, if she didn't think she could handle the fight or she thought it wasn't fair, like that's the other fight to have. But like, she's in there scrapping. She took her hits. She didn't fall down. That's not a hard hit. These flurries are. I could eat these all day, and I've been hit way harder by bigger people, with all due respect. I know they're fucking Olympic level athletes and they punch the shit out of me. I'm saying I've been punched by like Olympic level athletes in the fucking head. I was in the Marines, okay? Marines are in very good shape and they are all different sizes. I've been hit harder than this by like men with testosterone in their bodies and weathered it. And it's like, yeah, you're getting punched, but like you got gloves on, you got a headpiece on. It's not bare knuckle, and it's overseen by a ref. Like, this is fine. This is a fine amount of hits to take. Look, you barely even have any fucking snap in her neck. Like, she ate those. Like, she's a little champ. She's a fucking little champ over it. Honestly, she ate those fucking hits. What, like, can people please celebrate women in sports instead of treating them like fucking bitches every fucking time? Like, that fucking champ's got a jaw on her. I want to see her scrapping prize. Like, dude, take her out. Tell a fucking Mexican woman she can't fucking take a hit, dude. God damn.
Golpe de impacto. Sí. Se vio claramente de nueva cuenta el recto en combinación hasta 5
Recto.
golpes alcanzó a conectar,
Rules.
manejándose con el jab y otra
Boom.
vez en la combinación.
Yeah, she's completely thrown off by the height difference, I think.
En el upper.
Which sucks, because that means you're always going to get thrown off by the height difference. You have to be able to... If you're a boxer, this isn't that much of a reach difference. Okay? And reach differences that are bigger than this from stronger people have been overcome before. She seems like she's flailing. She might be fucking tired. This might not be the best possible fighter that they have in their like stock, you know? This person might not be fighting the gold medal fighter on the Mexican Olympic team. They might be fighting the silver or the bronze. I don't know. You know, like who they think is going to win that. They're all in a tournament bracket, basically, and get closer and closer and closer to the edge. She might have had a bad fight the day before, and she's tired as shit. Or she might have gassed herself trying to get knockout. We're not watching a whole fight. This is a highlight reel of a winner. So no matter what, you're going to look bad. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, Tyler really beat the shit out of Warkikia in that fucking Warkikia video. You're like, well, yeah, it's my highlight reel. The highlight reel isn't going to show this person fucking fighting back effectively. Like, they're winning. This is how this happens. Is Imane Khelif actually trans? From what I've read, she is cis with high T and XY chromosomes, but that does not mean she is trans or even intersex. Well, fuck, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and maybe even in that case. I don't even know. I'm saying for the most, like, what the chud type would most jump off of, reach difference and stance can really throw you off. I hated fighting southpaws. I can fight switch very effectively because my dad taught me how to box, and he's left-handed. And so I can go left to right, right to left, like, and it doesn't change. Like, it doesn't change my accuracy or my punching power at all. Maybe at like a higher level, you know, I wouldn't be able to like do it for real, but I can switch southpaw to standard, like, instant. So yeah, this trade. So like this last trade, hold on, I want to watch this again. Came in like right under. Tyler. She comes in right underneath her guard with a really, really good like look away fucking uppercut and just gets a body hit.
Sí. Se vio claramente de nueva cuenta el recto en combinación hasta 5 golpes alcanzó a conectar, manejándose con el jab y otra vez en la combinación ahí en el upper, otro golpe de impacto, le van a aplicar otra cuenta de protección. Cuidado, porque si llega a una tercera ocasión es susceptible de que le detengan el pleito.
La velocidad de puños de Khelif no pudo.
1, 2, and she's getting these. That was a good roll. She got hit by one, and then she faded the second one and the third, I think, and it was just right in front of her face. She's fine.
Lo rápido que desenfundaba tanto la izquierda.
Setting up again.
Y en la parte de este tercer.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a rough hit. That like what is this? She has this big long faded fucking outside hook. It's just really obvious.
Y en la parte de este tercer
she just seems like she doesn't have a plan. Like, is really what I'm seeing here.
El jab y el recto.
Pum, pum, pum.
Y bueno, pues aquí repasamos estos momentos de apremio para la mexicana, como observamos aquí que le estaban dejando el guante
Champions of this
en el
tournament.
botón y la esquina azul.
Blue corner de Algeria.
El resultado,
Imane Khelif.
es campeona de Golden Bell Series.
Aquí está por abandono, como ya les platicábamos desde
She's not hot enough for me to jerk off to. She's not a real lady. The fucking response here. That was the most perfectly normal, semi-one-sided boxing fight I couldn't imagine coming out of that fight and saying, oh my God, she's been battered, she's been bruised. Like, people do not watch fucking boxing. Like, that was the most fucking milquetoast exchange series like I've seen in a while. It's Olympic boxing. It's not as fun to watch as fucking prize fighting. It's kind of what I want to get to. Olympic boxing is about proving you can do the sweetest science. Somebody talk about Uwe Boll in fucking chat. The Olympic boxing is more about proving you can do the, like, you're good at it. You know what I mean? They don't want you to fucking absolutely, like, pile drive everybody the second you start. kind of deal. I don't know if that would actually end it completely, but like Olympic boxing always looks like that. It's a little less interesting to watch than prize fighting. Prize fighting is just like, hey man, I'm going to fucking literally kill you in this fucking ring. I've watched so many fucking boxing matches, and that is just not getting hit hard. Battered, beaten, bruised. But when is a woman going to die in the ring? She's just literally probably can't even tell when she's not getting hit because all you see is like throws. That lady's fine. She's fine. She got hit by like one really, really nasty straight and fucking ate it like a champ. Her face isn't even that red. You know what I mean? Like, she's not bleeding. That shit's fine. You ever watch fucking female UFC? Fucking bitches got the whole side of their heads fuck caked up. It's a good fight. The infantilization of female athletes is annoying. I've always got a chauvinist feeling from the anti-trans women in sports crowd. It's 100% because there's no respect being shown to that lady boxer in that video, the Mexican boxer. She's just doing fine. I can't really put it any other way. She's not a prize fighter. They're not prize fighters. They don't fight like prize fighters. It's a technical type thing. You know what I mean? Which is why they're wearing headgear and shit. She's a, you know, perfectly adequate little boxer. Fine. I would say even the person that beat her is okay. I didn't see anything particularly fucking like, wow, holy shit, that was the best fight ever, because, you know, you can't get that out of a not as good boxer. She seems like she got fucking flustered as fuck by the range difference. And that's kind of it. Like the height difference got her, which, you know, that's just something you have to overcome. You can't pretend like you can't go into boxing as a boxer. I think most boxers will tell you this and say, oh, every opponent I ever go up that has a reach advantage, that's unfair to me. Like, if there's a reach advantage on my opponent, that's unfair to me. That's unfair. And then you get to super heavyweight, and the fucking reach advantage and height advantages are like 30-pound difference, 8 fucking inches, and it still doesn't fucking get the guy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And she's just not getting hit that hard. That trans woman, I think she's just a woman, people were saying. I don't have any evidence that she's trans. She just has a XY chromosome set, but that's the thing. Fucking genetics is crazy, and it's way above my pay grade. So I can only talk to the being in the fight. Oh, thank you, Cum Scoundrel. But yeah, they're just like, the whole story is horseshit. It's really just fear mongering over nothing, because there's nothing particularly notable about either of those two boxers. They're both not particularly big. They don't have male like features like in their body. They just look like any other scrawny fucking female athlete. They're just not built like super heavyweight boxers, so like they don't have that advantage. She doesn't seem like she can hit particularly hard. Probably very, very hard. She's a professional puncher, you know what I mean? But like, not like you gotta be able to punch hard enough to crack a skull. No one does it. Otherwise, super heavyweights would be dead all the time. Like, that's why you just don't even see knockouts really that often in the lower weight ranges, because lower weight people will just batter the shit out of each other. They'll be bleeding like crazy. They'll be hurt. They won't feel great. They could all probably beat me up. That's fine. But they won't be like, you don't see 10-second knockouts unless you're having somebody's like highly fucking incompetent. You know what I mean? When you get down to like the lower weights, because it just takes a minimum amount of energy to turn the human head far enough that your cervical spine separates and turns you fucking off for a second. Like, the button takes a minimum amount of energy to press.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.